Okay, so why India drinks so much chai? Coffee. I prefer coffee. But then again, I've never had Indian tea, so yeah, it might actually be delicious. I just know tea, and it's easy for me to brew. I prefer cold brew now. I used to brew it, but when you brew coffee, you get that you get not when you always brew coffee, but when you roast coffee, I think that's what it's called, roasting coffee. You put it in like a coffee maker or whatever, and it heats up. You get like an acidic taste in your mouth, like a burning taste. You get used to it over time and you don't mind it, but when you make cold brew, like cold coffee, and you just let it simmer overnight, and it just tastes so much better because it's more of a clean I was gonna say clean swallow, which that is what it is, but it doesn't sound right to say clean swallow. It's more of a smooth feel down the throat. No matter how I say it, it's going to sound bad. But yeah, sorry. This is why India drinks so much coffee. I don't know. Oh, I'm already screwing up. So much chai. I started thinking of coffee. Now I'm just stuck thinking of coffee.
India, land of culture, a land of 1.8 billion people. Or a land of 1.8 billion addicts.
Is it drugs? Nice joke. This is something far more dangerous, far more potent, and far more delicious. Look at this man who hasn't gotten his fix yet. He has become so dependent, so attached that he will remain in that same place until the moment that he gets his first hit.
My day can't start without it. Keta. Minimum 3 times.
What is this wonder drug? How did it ever come to us? How did it grip an entire nation that the words on everybody's mouth at 4 p.m. in the evening are without a doubt always Chata, 2 tea.
I'll take some tea.
It's no secret that we Indians really love tea. I mean, we even named one of our most famous monuments after tea. There are more tea stalls per unit area than unit area.
It's the other way
Every time
around.
a new street is built, a new tea stall is already there. It's like when you buy a new Android phone and MX Takataka is already pre-installed on it. You didn't ask for it, but it's there.
Samsung, connecting people. Do what you say. Oh, whatever means say.
In fact, scientists at ISRO have actually said that the real reason that India has not yet gone to the moon is because there's no gravity, so you can't do the waterfall thingy to artify the chai.
Sure. Gravity
And sometimes people ask this stupid question.
So, are you like a tea person or a coffee person?
And that is stupid, because once you date someone, you drink coffee, because where do you go? You go to a coffee shop. But once you break up, you are at a tea stall drinking tea and crying to your homies. Bacha, avan vittu poitara. Parala, kudi. Sigma.
Oh.
And even though it's a British thing, we made it our own, like cricket. First we added milk, then we added masala, then we made it kadak, even though it's liquid, because fuck physics, fuck principles of fluid mechanics. H.C. Verma crying there. But the story behind how this beverage found its way into our masala-infested stomachs is a story involving the Chinese Empire, the East India Company, and a shrewd botanist who inadvertently became a secret agent. Can I just say became Tom Cruise? Is that okay?
Ooh, yeah, that works.
So let's get this party started. Get it? Party. Oh, okay.
I hate puns.
We are not
Absolutely
making any
hate
of this
puns.
up. India has the largest tea drinking population in the world. It's also the second largest tea grower in the world. Second only to China. But you know, it's low quality. Guys, clearly that's a joke. Nirmal does not endorse defaming a country, especially sovereign ones like China. There are some really interesting patterns about tea drinkers, which was found by the Tea Board of India, which I assume looks like this. No, not this. No, not this. No, none of these. There's so many of these. Anyway, we are going to present this in the format of quick facts. What happened? Too quick for you? I'll ask this in surprise test, so be careful. You see, the story of how we got to this stage in advanced tea consumption is a story that begins, like most stories with us, with the British. You see, for the longest time, tea was being grown in China, and in England, it was this very exclusive, high-class commodity, and they got addicted, really addicted. Tea was considered so precious that in 1662, when King Charles II married the Portuguese princess Catherine of Braganza, this person, it's accurate, guys. Her dowry consisted of a chest of tea and the island of Bombay for an annual lease of 10 pounds, equivalent then to the cost of 1 pound of tea in England. Let me put that in perspective for you. The city of Mumbai, where I can't afford a 1 BHK for myself, was considered equal to this. The fuck? Can you imagine if this went down in India today? Not the news channel.
ഇതാണ് ഞങ്ങളുടെ മോന്. ഇതാണ് ഞങ്ങളുടെ മോള്. അതൊക്കെ ശരി. എന്തൊക്കെ കൊടുക്കും? മാരുതി 800 കൊടുക്കാം. പിന്നെ ഡൽഹി വേണം. അത് ഭയങ്കര പൊല്യൂഷൻ. ചെന്നൈ അയ്യോ അത് ഭയങ്കര തണുപ്പാ. ബാംഗ്ലൂർ അല്ല ഭയങ്കര ചൂട്. ഒരു നിമിഷം ആ ചായ ഒന്ന് എടുക്കാവോ? ശരി.
And the story begins with, oh, I think someone's at the door. Let me just go get that. Oh, it's the brand integration. How are you? You want some tea? Only if you made it, but you need skills for that. Something that you don't have. Under the belt, but okay. Well, we can't help you learn to make tea, but we can help you learn engineering with the best world-class curriculum developed by industry experts. And it's very practical too. We have project-based learning for students, bridging the gap between academia and industry so that you can apply whatever you're learning in the real world. Isn't that insane? Man, you're really tempting me.
Placement. Those are so
across
fun.
engineering domains like mechanical.
I like how he's got a loading bar at the bottom to let you know how long this ad is gonna be.
Okay.
Just
Also,
like, what the heck?
Technologies like electric vehicles, data science, and autonomous vehicles. Wow. And at this point, you're probably thinking, hey man, if I have all these skills but I don't have a job, then what's the point, huh? No, I was still thinking about you dissing my tea making. That's exactly why placements are handled by our customer success team. Over 2,000 plus job opportunities in 300 plus recruiting companies, including Hyundai, Capgemini, and HCL. That's actually pretty cool. I know, and you should check out our website. Use the link in the
Didn't he drop
description
that?
so that you can get a 15% off on all the courses and a free career counseling session. Oh. Now I'm gonna let you go back to your video. Oh shit, okay, sorry. By the 18th century, there was a war between the English and the Dutch, and England's resources were really getting depleted. So the English were unable to afford the silver that they were trading with China to get the tea. And apart from that,
How is tea so addictive? I mean, I guess I've never had real tea before, because well, it comes in bags, and you heat it up in warmish water. Yeah, it can't be hot water, else you burn the tea, and there's a whole metric and math system that goes into tea making, apparently. But yeah, coffee, absolutely, coffee all the way. Coffee's so much better, so much better. I'm gonna get hate for saying that, but it's easier to make, and I just prefer the taste. Smooth, it just goes smoothly down the throat.
China was uninterested in anything that Britain was offering.
I think we should just be friends.
Macha, she rejected me, da. Shut up, Tutti. Until they discovered something that China did want. Drugs. I'm serious. Britain started growing opium in India and smuggled it to China in return for tea. For tea. And I don't know if you're history buffs, but China literally had a war and an opioid epidemic because of this. And who sold them the opium? The British literally grew drugs in our backyard because they wanted some chai time. Yeah, this is what they did this for. Not gonna lie though, worth it. Hey, guys, he's clearly joking again. And they grew this opium in the backyards of India. Hey, Macha, can I use your backyard for a while? Why would I let you do that? That's all, How long we've been friends, this is how you treat me. Okay, fine. I mean, you could... Also, you only work on it, no? Like slaves, please. But you need it, why would I work on it? Macha, it's your backyard, so you only have to work on it, no? Silly fellow. What? Why will I work on you? Hey, shut up and work. Hey, work! Oh, that's just classic Britain. Anyway, after the Charter Act of 1833, you don't need to know what that is. All you need to know is the East India Company lost its trade monopoly with China, so they stopped. That means they weren't the only ones exclusively trading, and their trade relations basically failed. To deal with this, the Tea Committee was established. Yes, another government institution for tea. Was established a year later to extract tea seeds, techniques, and resources from the Chinese. The mission, though, was not quite successful. Basically, this is an example in British desperation. They will do anything for tea at this point. Invade continents, grow drugs, all for chai time.
उसका क्या? उसका क्या?
However, as you know the famous quote, fortune favors white people. At the
Dumb and
end, the
Dumber.
British got their way. But how they did it is actually the story of doom. In 1843, Robert Fortune, a Scottish horticulturalist, yes, that is also a profession that you can pursue after BTech. He went on a, as we call it, solo trip to China to study its tea plantations. 3 years later, he returned and consecutively published a book on the same. And we have a manuscript of it in our office. Let me show it to you. Oh, yeah. Now, to get a job with the East India Company is very difficult. Why do you think that you're the perfect man for this job?
Sir, myself skilled in all this robbery, thievery, immoral behavior, pickpocket. Sir, since childhood I was one KD fellow, sir.
Please, take this right. They actually hired him on the spot, gave the amazed man 500 pounds per annum. He was set to perform the Great British Tea Heist. So the British at this point have found their vigilante. Get it? Vigilante. No.
I want to slap him.
And to remind you guys, his name was literally Rob Fortune. Like, speechless. Talk about being born for a role.
Oh, he'll rob people's fortune one day. Rob fortune vechikalama.
And if he was gonna sneak into China, he needed a disguise. So what did he do? He went to Tirupati. No, but actually he shaved his head in order to blend in with the other Chinese monks. Am I fitting in? And after an exhausting 3-month expedition, Rob returned to Shanghai from the estates and he wrote to his employers informing them of the following.
Machan, I got the greens.
Okay, that may be a little altered. The actual message reads as, I have much pleasure in informing you, he wrote, that I have procured a large supply of seeds and young plants which I trust will get safely to India. And with all this stolen tea, they came back and started planting it in India. And over the years, Indian tea quickly topped the market in Britain as the best because, well, circle jerking. I'm serious, the British hyped Indian tea so much because it was on their home turf. They started dissing Chinese tea and all, saying things like, my tea has elaichi, your tea is adachi. But the truth is not far from fiction. Just look at this advertisement that they published. Indian teas are purer. Indian teas are more aromatic. Indian teas are stronger. Indian teas are cheaper. Indian teas are more wholesome and are better in every respect than Chinese teas. Subtle. They're talking like they got out of a toxic relationship with China and got into a healthier one with India, while forgetting that they were the toxic ones all along. But none of this actually answers how it became popular in India, and the answer lies in chai. Anana, inga onnu. You see, back in India,
Selling
the
it to the
Darjeeling
British
Himalayan
officers.
Railway, which opened in 1878, was symbiotically rooted to the growth of Indian tea. The first major experiment of the Indian Tea Association, yes, another government body. Why do you guys fix corruption? You can deal with tea later. Their experiment to globalize Indian tea began on Indian railways. Hype, basically the ancestor of the IRC. It was after World War I that Indian and Eurasian vendors started coming to railway stations with kettles and with stoves and everything and started making tea on the platforms. Began selling tea at the historic railway stations of Bengal, Punjab and the frontier provinces. Wow. The Tea Association prided itself that a better cup of tea could be in general had at the platform tea stalls than in the first class restaurant cars on the trains. So I just have one question at this point. What happened to our railway chai? Now it's like water but it's brown color. Like...
Oh.
Guys, this is the opposite of started from the bottom, now we are here. But this is the story of how Fortune's stolen gift to the British Empire eventually became into this hybrid drink in India, where first we started adding a little bit of sugar, then we started adding milk, and then it became chai as we know it. And over time, from small town railway stations to first class tea compartments, tea became the iconic symbol of a typical Indian train journey. And this transformed a nation of previously teetotalers into a gigantic mass of tea drinking Indians whose primary problem in life now is losing their Parle G inside the tea.
Oh, that's the funny.
Thank you so much for watching this video. Things like this really interest me and I'm so glad to have found a tribe of people who enjoy the same kind of obscure shit that I do.
Not always, I guess. Oh. Yeah, it is funny how it's the like he brought up the fact that it was at the railway stations. They're no longer good anymore. But that's the thing. It's like if you want like the best kind of Mexican food, where do you go? You go to a taco truck. That's where you go for the best kind. I'm pretty sure it's kind of in. It hasn't kept it ever since taco trucks in the U.S. have became popular. But oh my gosh. But yeah, I wanted to slap him a few times. There are way too many puns, and it was just like, all right, I wanna slap him. Oh, I was like, okay, I just want to lean over and slap. Like, come on, man, stop it. There's no fun in puns. No way. Oh, sometimes I accidentally do them. I never intentionally do them. I struggle to catch them sometimes. I think that's why I have trouble with them, why I hate them so much, because the only reason I noticed in the text, he split the word for me, which is why it pissed me off, because I was like, I wouldn't have noticed. Because he literally had par on one section and then T written in T. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah, why Indians drink so much chai. That really didn't explain it, though. Because it's become a part, like what led to everyone choosing to drink it. That was just like fun little facts or history tidbits. But there was no reason as to why it became so popular within India. Well, maybe I just missed it because I was too busy paying attention to his ridiculous puns. But yeah.